Hello, dear students. Welcome to Strive IAS Daily Newspaper Analysis. Dear student, today we are going to discuss about 7th June newspaper analysis. So, first one is RBI cut rate by 50 basis point interest burden to ease. So, your homework is what is the meaning of repo rate or what is repo rate? Then you have to study what is CRR, what is cash reserve ratio. देखो, repo rate is the rate at which bank RBI give loan to the bank. So if let's say earlier RBI giving 7% interest rate, bank are giving 10% interest rate. If RBI is giving 6% interest rate, then bank will give 9% interest rate. So that means loan amount that we are getting from the bank is going to reduce. If loan amount is reduced, so we'll buy more, we'll take more loan to buy something. So because of that, that is going to improve our economy. Again, it is saying that what is the CRR? CRR is the cash reserve ratio. It is the percentage. So CRR is the percentage of, you can say, percentage of CRR equals to percentage of the net demand time liability that bank have to deposit to the RBI. Okay? So currently it was around 4%. Now it is reduced to 3%. So how it is going to helpful in raising liquidity? Let's say in our economy, let's say SBI. Let's say SBI is having total 1 lakh crore. So say they have to store 4%. So that is 4,000 crore, 4K CR, 4,000 crore. But if it is reduced to 3%, so that means automatically they have to store amount 3,000 crore. So 1,000 crore they can 1,000 crore they can invest in the market. So that means it will create more money with the bank, and that money can be used to invest in the economy. So and that money can be give more loan. So that is the reason it will promote the economic growth. So central bank reduce the cash reserve ratio by 100 basis point or 1%. 100 basis point को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Either 100 basis point और डिवाइड करके 1% बोलते हैं. ठीक है. So to release 2.5 lakh crores of primary liquidity to the bank by the year end. RBI maintained GDP growth rate forecast 6.5% for 2025 and 26. So to promote the growth in a time when inflation is come under the control, so Reserve Bank of India Monetary Policy Committee voted 5:1 to slash the policy repo rate bigger than expected 5 basis point to 5.5%. So dear student, your homework is you have to study about Monetary Policy Committee. So already I have told you multiple occasions. So I am going to give you each and every day 5 to 6 tasks. So your job is to do a lot of research and make note of it. Okay. So just type in the Google and search about Monetary Policy Committee and how many members are there, under which act it is established, how they vote. Okay. All detail of Monetary Policy Committee. So they can ask a question in the prelims. Okay. So you should know that. And if you practice whatever task I am giving daily basis, so it is my guarantee you'll get 20 to 30 question in the prelims. So prelims is not going to be your headache. And in mains also, while others are struggling to get 100 marks, I am giving a guarantee will get 100 plus 10, but provided you have to make note of it, provided that the way I'm saying you need to implement that in the real life. Okay. So this is the RBI third repo rate cut since the February, and it will be further reduce the interest burden on the borrower. Yes, I've already told you, and cut on saving by the depositor. Okay. Separately, RBI also decided to reduce the cash reserve ratio by 10 basis point over the course of this year. Okay. So caught in the CRR, definitely it will be release primary liquidity of about 2.5 lakh crore to the banking system by December. Okay. So this is all about the news, and if you look into that, so there is a the RBI target inflation rate of 2 to 4% plus or minus 2. That means inflation band 2 to 6% के अंदर रहना चाहिए. But now we are seeing that inflation is well within the control. So that is the reason they are cutting the interest rate to promote the growth, and they also maintain the Indian economy will grow at the 6.5%. Okay. Okay. So you can see here the CRR will be reduced to 3% of the net demand and time liability. Net demand and time liability. So that means it will be give more money in the hands of the bank. So dear student, they can ask a prelims question, how recent reduction in the CRR going to help. So already they have asked multiple questions, so you have to understand that. Okay. So next is Prime Minister inaugurated key rail project in the Jammu Kashmir, hit out at the Pakistan. Okay, describing Pahalgam attacks as attack on the Kashmiriyat and Insaniyat. ठीक है. So the Operation Sindhu served as a humiliating defeat to the Pakistan, because it's a swept attack, so that we have paralyzed entire system of the Pakistan. So he made this remark after inaugurating three rail project in Jammu and Kashmir, the Chenab Bridge. So dear student, comment in the comment box why Chenab Bridge is famous for. It is the uh, world's highest railway arc bridge. Railway arc bridge means ये ऐसे type की. Yes, this is the bridge. So first time, like it is the highest that we have constructed. The next is Anji Bridge in India, first cable stay rail bridge, and Bande Bharat train between the Katra to Srinagar. So now we are able to provide connectivity to the even Kashmir. So and after some time we'll connect a train from New Delhi to Kashmir. Okay? So that once this region is connected with mainland, so we can ensure the development and togetherness among the people. And dear student, if you want to get this highlighted newspaper, scan this QR code. You will get access to this PDF in the our application. Okay. So next, we'll see the our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji accept the invitation of Canadian Prime Minister to attend the G7 meeting. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will represent India at the G7 Canada next week after he was invited by the Canadian Prime Minister. Okay, during a telephonic conversation. So dear student, your homework already I have given few days back. So if you have already completed that, no need to complete. If you have not completed, then go through that about G7. So how G7 is formed, what are the objective of G7, how many countries are there in G7, and what is G8, and which country was removed from the G8 to become G7. It is the Russia. And we have seen that since 2019 all summit our prime minister attend this G7 summit, so that is a welcoming step. So you need to know that. Okay. So next is Bangalore Stampedes RCB officials, the others held remanded for 14-day judicial custody. So because of this tragic incident happened, so due to that, so they have been put under the judicial custody. So dear student, mains is very 75 days around. So if you want to write daily answer writing practice, so you can join our mains answer writing program. So it is completely flexible to write question of your choice. Okay, you can get evaluation by the interview of your faculty, or some of our faculty are also UPSC selected faculty also. So here you can get evaluation of 4 questions per day and weekly full length test, and will ensure the timely evaluations. Okay, so price are very nominal, so you can join and get the benefit of all these things. To join that, you simply scan this QR code. To join that, you simply scan this QR code. I'll join it. Okay. In case you need any assistance, you can call me. So next is the MK Stalin says that Ministry of Home Affairs remark on the delimitation are vague. So I'm just telling you the what happening. They go, during 19 after 1971. So there is a proposal to control the population. So to control population, so our constituency are freezed up to 2026. So that encourage the country to have proper population control. Now after the census in 2026 will also have delimitation again. In that case, the southern India, they have achieved southern India population control. So their population is going to decrease as compared to northern India. So they are apprehension that because of that their seat in parliament going to decline as compared to northern India. So that is the controversy is all about. He We'll see it. So MK Stalin on Friday said that remark of Union Home Ministry over the proposed delimitation were vague and called for clear parliamentary commitment and suitable constitutional amendment. So injustice in the delay announcement of census is welcome, but delay is unjust, because census is linked with a lot of welfare scheme. Whenever you don't know about data, so it's very difficult for us to implement, because all the welfare scheme, all the reservation, they are driven by the data. So that is what is saying. Joe census we need to conduct it the timely manner. So Ministry of Home Affairs claimed that the concern of the affected states will be addressed, but there is a vague remark. But what is needed is a clear parliamentary commitment and suitable constitutional amendment. Okay, this is what said by the MK Stalin. So if government proceed with the delimitation based on the census 2027, so democratically power peninsula India, that means democratically peninsula India means this portion. So their population is already declined because of population control. So their seat in the Lok Sabha is going to decline. So because of that, they are in the apprehension. So the developed state, especially the non-Hindi speaking South, follow population control norm will now be punished, and state that disregarded population control for decades said they gain more seat in the parliament, because North India, like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, they have high population. So because of that, they will get more seat in the parliament. So census 2027 should form to basis of next delimitation, replacing 1971 data. So okay, so that is what the controversy is all about. And dear student, you can join our prelims test series of OPSC. So it is very nominal price, yet it is very high effective. We are not charging huge amount of money, because I know there are so many students who cannot afford. So you can get multiple around 3,000 question. Okay, so you can simply scan this QR code to join. And one more thing, first 5 tests of each and every subject are free. So even if you don't want to buy, you can simply explore that as well. So next is 800-year-old Shiva temple unearthed in Madurai. So 800-year-old Shiva temple, later Pandya period, have been unearthed at the Udayampati village in the Madurai district of Tamil Nadu. So just read it out, you'll understand. Okay? So next is the Haryana Indian Medical Association seek clarity on the state government cashless treatment scheme for accident victim. Okay. So not much important. If you are belongs to Haryana, then you need to read about that. But yes, I've already highlighted. If you want, you can go through it. So next is Stampede Fallout, Karnataka CM sacks political secretary. So recent time we have seen that after some incident, political party and everyone is behaving in a knee-jerk reaction. Rather, we should prepare that. We know that India is a populous country, like 1.4 billion people. So this kind of stampede is going to happen in any mass event. So we need to prepare that. Not we should not have the post reaction, just like we are doing. Okay, we need to avoid that at any cost. Okay. So next is a lakh still affected by the flood in northeast and death toll 55. So, northeastern state already आपको बताया था. So I'll just explain once again what is the geography of the northeastern state. So if you look into northeastern state, so like that. So here it is, here it is mountain. Here it is mountain. In between there is a Brahmaputra river, and every river flow downward. So because of that, too much of water have to drain in a very small span, and this is a plain area. So because of that, this region is affected huge flooding and each and every year. So this year also because of this monsoon, so northeast is severely affected. So while 1.66 lakhs people continue to affected, mostly in Manipur, mostly in Imphal Valley. Okay. So Assam reduced about 1.2 across the 14 districts. So flood bulletin provided by Assam State Disaster Management Authority, Brahmaputra, 4 other river have been flooded in certain stretches. Okay. So not much important, but you need to know about why northeast is prone to the flooding. Next is Kerala Hydel project faced delay at state dump in the Manad block water flow. So actually, there is a project. So at the mouth, like at the river mouth, so people dump all their waste. So because of that, water is not able to flow. So due to that, it is not able to generating amount, the its required amount of power. So you can just go through it. So understand that why land delay happen always in India. So building encroaching Hyderabad Picket Nala brought down. So you know we are seeing that recent time urban flooding, the concept of urban flooding is widespread, because the nala, or you can say drain, all these are for the draining of the water, but this construction mafia, they occupy that, and they establish big rise buildings. So because of that, water cannot pass through this nala. So because of that, they spread and create flooding. So this is a classic example. Whenever any sort of encroachment happen, we need to take very strict action and remove that encroachment. Okay. So next is Kerala Lab develop a test to identify deadly amoeba. So what is that? The State Public Health Laboratory, one of the Apex referral laboratory, Kerala has developed its own molecular diagnostic test kit to identify 5 common species of free living amoeba which toxic to the humans, which can cause amoeba meningoencephalitis. ठीक है, a common highly fatal brain infection cases amoeba geoencephalitis are being reported frequently in the Kerala. So now we have seen frequent instances. People, those who are go to a pond or the stagnant water body and take a bath. So this amoeba can enter through your nose and they start eating your brain, and gradually people have been died in these things. Okay? So it is so because of whenever you have the testing capability, so that can be led to the early identification of the disease, so that we can start early treatment. Okay? So it's a good thing. We need to expand this testing capability in, all over the India also. So next we will see important news. And dear student, our free mentorship program is also going on. So here, no need to pay anything. Simply, you can join our application and our Telegram. Already the QR code is given in this paper. So here we'll provide you daily targets. So then you'll get the infographics edition. You'll get the daily current affair in a 4 page in a very crispy and summarized way with a lot of questions. Then you'll get PYQ analysis, many more things, and Sunday podcast also. So please you can join our program if you want to take benefit. So next is Gukesh Best Chase Carlson for the top prize. So Gukesh is performing very well. So just read what is the rank of Gukesh. So what is the world rank of Gukesh? So just you need to know a few things so that nowadays they are asking question in the UPSC as well. So dear student, to help you those who are giving attempt in 2026, okay, so you can attempt our already given test, so that in a real time setup you can know that your level of preparation, like same UPSC prelims exam we have already created in our application, you can attempt as a real time exam to know your performance. So simply scan this QR code. So next is judge held the Trump ban on the foreign students in Harvard. So recently there is a executive order given by the Donald Trump to ban all the foreign students, those who are coming and studying in the Harvard. So that was blocked by the judge of American judges. So next is Russia call Ukraine war existential strike back. So देखो first place why this Russian and Ukraine war is going on. Just imagine, this is Ukraine, this is Russia. So they are contacted. There is not separation. Contacted. देखो there is a agreement signed prior to the 1991. That's NATO will not expand eastward, but after that NATO has been expanding eastward and bringing more country under its fold. So that is a violation of NATO. When NATO enter into the Ukraine and Ukraine apply for the European Union membership, that infuriated Russia. उससे रशिया को बहुत गुस्सा आया. तो रशिया ने अटैक करना शुरू कर दिया यूक्रेन पे. So Ukraine is generally considered as a eastern side of the Ukraine are Russian speaking people. So there is a close connection between Russia and Ukraine. So when Ukraine want to part of the European Union, that infuriate and create a threat or security threat for the Russia. That is the reason Russia attacked the Ukraine. So Ukraine war was existential for Russia after it launched wave of retaliatory drone and missile strike that killed three rescue workers in the Kiev. So days after the second round of Ukraine-Russian ceasefire negotiation that is going on in Turkey and ended without meaningful progress, the Kremlin cast a three-year, invasive, nothing sort of a battle for future of Russia. So for us, it's an existential issue on our national interest, safety, or our future, our children. So because Russia believe that if eastward expansion of the NATO, if there is a NATO is expand to Ukraine. So that means they establish all their air defense system, fighter jet, everything. So in that case, it will create like now threat is here, and the Ukraine is acting as a buffer state. But when NATO it became member of the NATO, so everything is here. So it is create a direct threat to the Russia. So that is the reason Russia behaving very violently. So next we know that Donald Trump and Elon Musk relationship melted down in a blazing public row. So we know that no need to discuss much. So not important for us. So Bangladesh to be hold poll in April 2026 says Yunis. So it is very important because it is a very neighbor country and our northeast security is closely linked with Bangladesh. So now after there is a failed, you can say the Sheikh Hasina government was failed because of the protest, and Sheikh Hasina then traveled move out of, you can say, simply like leave the country and stay asylum in India. So Bangladesh will have election during the first half of the April 2026. So chief advisor to the interim government Muhammad Yunus announced. So Yunus said that Bangladesh is a state of war and accused the domestic and international support to defeat fascist government or attempting to destabilize interim government. देखो, this Muhammad Yunus government always use all these things, international influence to garner his support. So stuck to this poll promise. So name this without naming the Sheikh Hasina, preferred to the disposed prime minister, and her government has defeated fascist government, and said that has struck previous promise of holding election in December to between December to June 2026. Okay, so just remember that what going on in the Bangladesh is going to have direct implication for our internal security. That is the reason we need to know. So if there is a proper election, it should not be coup election, or it should not be election with one party contest. So if it is a proper election and proper democracy, it's good for India also. So next we'll see the GAIL Dhobal LNG terminal receive first cargo in monsoon. देखो मैं बताता हूँ why, what is LNG actually. देखो liquefied natural gas. देखो if it is a gas, and we know that gas is quite expansible, so that means it take lot of volume. If you transport the gas in a through the container, it will take a lot of volume, lot of space. But if you convert gas to liquid, it will reduce the volume of the gas na. So it will reduce the volume of in the liquid state. So once it is a liquid state, we have to again convert into gas na. So that is the reason we need to have liquefied natural gas terminals. Okay. So GAIL India double terminal receive its first liquefied natural gas cargo during the monsoon on back of commissioning of a crucial backwater. Okay. So the terminal has been designed an all-weather port with commissioning of crucial backwater. Okay. So ये कहाँ है? So it is already given. So via double Bangalore and okay. So you need to know about all these things going on liquefied natural gas location, because sometimes they ask about any project or oil and gas project, so that you can answer that. Okay. So dear student, as I have already told you, so if you want OPSC test series for free of cost for first five, then you can simply scan this QR code and explore in our application. So RBI reduced the qualifying assets threshold for NBFC microfinance institutions. So Reserve Bank of India Friday reduced the qualifying assets threshold for non-banking finance corporations from 60 to 60% from the 75%. So earlier the qualifying norm was 75%. Now it is reduced to 6%. The qualifying assets of the NBFC or microfinance institutions shall be constitute a minimum of 60% of the total assets netted by the intangible assets on the ongoing basis. If NBFC microfinance institution fail to maintain the qualifying assets as per the threshold of the 4 consecutive quarter, it shall be approach the Reserve Bank with a pre-mediate plan for taking review in this matter. Okay. I think not much important. You just know about the value. So now just know about value. The RBI reduced the qualifying assets threshold. Qualifying assets threshold for the NBFC microfinance institution is 60%. Earlier 75%. So they can ask direct statement about that also. So next, already we have discussed about steep rate cut to give a sense of certainty to all stakeholders. So main objective behind slashing of the repo rate by 50% and one go was bring certainty environment of uncertainty, says the governor, RBI governor. So 50 basis point was reduced. Okay, so because our inflation is under very control, like below 4%, and our target is 4% plus or minus 2%. That means 2% to 6%, the band that we need to keep our inflation. So it is well within our control. So that is the reason there is room for reducing the repo rate. So similar decision to cut CRR, cash reserve ratio, was taken, though it was have been taken after 4 months. So RBI prime motive to bring the price stability and control inflation. So what is the prime objective? If there is a question, what are the prime objective of RBI? The RBI's prime motive is to bring down price and control inflation. After that, the focus was on the growth. So growth is the secondary. Prime objective of RBI is the price control. Always remember that. Okay. So on the move to change the monetary policy stance from accommodative to neutral. So what do you mean by accommodative? Accommodative means देखो RBI जो policy बनाता है, so दो चीजें बताता है. Accommodative means there is a chance in future cut. Neutral means either it can be maintained like status quo, or it can increase or decrease. ठीक है, the rate in the next monetary policy जो meeting होगा. Action packed move. So 50 basis point cut and staggering 100 basis point CRR cut change the stance of the neutral today monetary policy communication actions. ठीक है. So मैंने already आपको homework दिया हूँ. So dear student, you need to study about monetary policy committee, MPC, detail about MPC. Okay. So RBI raised the small loan to value ratio by 10%. So what is a loan to value ratio? Let's say मेरे पास कुछ गोल्ड है, 100 ग्राम का गोल्ड है. Let's say the price of that is, let's say I'm not saying, it's a let's say for easier understanding, 100 lakhs. So let's say I'm having 100 lakhs of or 1 crore of gold. If I am going to deposit with a gold loan, so that means if loan to value ratio is 70%, so by depositing that I can get 70 lakhs of money. ठीक है, by depositing that 100 lakhs. ठीक है, that is what the value is. So RBI on Friday raised the loan to value ratio for lending against the gold to 85% borrower under 2.5%, 2.5 lakh. So those who are borrowing less than 2.5 lakh, they can get 85% of their value from 75. ठीक है, spelled out other conditions to regulate the category better with minimum risk. देखो why what happened recently, there is a regulation brought by the RBI to control or protect the consumer in the gold loan. But because there is a opposition from the South Indian, the Tamil Nadu government, and later on intervention by the finance ministry, so this clarification is come. So the loan to value ratio has been fixed 80% for loan between 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh and 75 for those above the 5 lakh. ठीक है, so loan to value ratio on a day means that ratio of the outstanding loan amount to the value of pledged gold. जैसे मान लीजिए मैंने 10 लाख का गोल्ड दिया हूं, तो कितना उसे मैक्सिमम लोन में ले पाऊंगा. अगर मैं ले रहा हूं अप टू 2.5 lakhs, तो जो मैं अमाउंट दूंगा तो उसका कितना हो जाएगा, अप टू 2.5 लाख में आपको मिल जाएगा 85%. इफ यू आर टेकिंग लोन ऑफ 2.5 to 5 लाख, देन आपको कितना अमाउंट हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा आपका 80%. इफ यू आर टेकिंग मोर देन 5, देन इट इज 75%. ठीक है. Dear student, you can join our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program. Here you will get quality, interview of your faculty, where one-on-one mentorship. Everything will get in a very nominal price. So you know more about it. Simply scan this QR code or reach out to me. The next is a state and union territory told to use fund allocation for poor prisoner. So there is a fund available at the state government for poor prisoner. There are so many prisoner who are not able to get bail because of lack of money, lack of bond money. So there is a fund so that that money can be used to ensure that they should get bail. So union government has expressed concern over the state and union territory not utilizing the fund allocated for providing relief to the poor prisoner who are unable to get bail or release from the prisoner due to financial constraint. Because so many people are very poor. Supports to the poor prisoner scheme was introduced in May 2023. Detailed guideline and standard operating procedure for implementation of the program was issued. ठीक है, the importance of the scheme highlight that its potentials to bring relief to the poor prisoner who remain incarcerated due to financial problem. देखो, there are so many people already, our prisoner are facing problem of overcrowding. Like if there is a particular prison, our prisoner are having 140% of overcrowding. If it is capability is 100 people, here it is staying more than 140 people. So by having that scheme, we can ensure that there is a less number of inmates, and that also improve the quality of our prisoners. So it may appropriate that the effective implementation of scheme would not only help mitigating the prisoner faced by the poor prisoner, but also contribute towards reducing overcrowding in the prisoner. Yes, so you can talk about that also. The prisoner, this fund is not being utilized. So the empower committee would recommend relief under the scheme to that prisoner up to 40,000 rupees. So there is an empowerment committee. So empowerment committee can recommend assistance up to 40,000 rupees. So Navy set, Indian Navy sets to commission anti-submarine warfare ship Arnala on June 18. So Indian Navy all set to commission its anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft Arnala at the naval dockyard Visakhapatnam. So you need to know about what is Arnala. So recently they can ask, not recently, even multiple exam they can ask, the Arnala is recently seen in news related to what? So it is an anti-submarine shallow watercraft. Anti-submarine shallow watercraft. So designed and constructed by Garden Rich Shipbuilding Limited in Kolkata with partnership with the L&T. So you can see it's a collaboration between Garden Rich Shipbuilding and L&T. So Arnala testimony to the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliance India. Okay? So here the warship incorporate more than 80% indigenous content. So it is having 80% indigenous content. So they can ask in one option, the Arnala is 100% indigenous content. So always remember, whenever there is an extreme statement, you have to be careful. So not always assume that it is correct, but be careful. So that can be wrong. So it can be wrong. It is 80% indigenous content. Okay. Arnala is equipped to conduct subsurface surveillance, search rescue mission, and low intensity maritime operations. So 77-meter long warship with a gross tonnage of 1.4, 1490, the largest Indian naval warship to be propelled by diesel engine water jet combination. So commissioning of the Arnala will mark the transformation moment in the Indian Navy. Yes, it will be improve our capability, particularly shallow watercraft, and anti-submarine warfare. So next is, so India soon India will be among the top defense exporter. Yes, definitely. Recent time we have seen that drastic increasing export of defense hardware from the India. Definitely, Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India is placed to make India one of the tough defense exporter. So recent military success due to the armed forces trusted in making India. Every Indian must know, this is what said by our prime minister. So recent success show that the quality of hardware that we are developing, so everyone should promote and use our local products. So we can say we should vocal for the locals. Okay. Next is China bridge, designed to survive loss of fire. So the credit for conceptualizing the designing that allows stability goes IISc professor Madhavi Let. Okay. So you can see it is given detail. So it's a four facade bridge. So here it is four facade bridge, like it's support. So even it is said that even if all these things are broken, even all of these are broken, so this arc can ensure there is a continuous movement of that. So that is the designing or engineering marvels of IISc professor Madhavi. Okay. So next is Dhankar, our vice president, questioned the delay in probe punishment in Justice Burma case. So recently, I'm just explaining everything what happened. Just listen carefully. So recently, what happened? The Justice Burma, who was the at that time was the judge of Delhi High Court. So there is a fire accident happened in house of the Burma, like Justice Burma. So in that fire, so huge amount of burnt gas found in his house. So later on, there is an investigation found, the something, corruption incident involved in this case. So later, Supreme Court judge recommended for passage of an impeachment process, so that judge can be removed. But just impeachment. Just imagine if any other person involved in the corruption. In that case, that person is not only removed from the post, but also legal action also taken, like punishment is also going to happen. But in case of judge, at max we can impeach them. There is no process for acting any legal action. So which is why this kind of thing is happen, why we are shielding a person who is involved in the corruption. That is what this article is talking about. When whosoever might be, it might be judge, it might be president of India. So whenever there is a corruption incident happen, we have to ensure that the person involved in the corruption should be punished, so that it is giving a clear signal that there is no place of corruption in our democracy. Okay. So that is what it's talking. So next is the it is a big win for India. So BRIC forum condemn the Pahalgam terror attack. Okay, so that forum also include China. So BRIC Parliamentary Forum held in Brasilia, Brazil. So June 4 to 5th strongly condemned the terrorist attack in the Pahalgam, Jammu Kashmir. So member of the parliament agreed to act collectively to against the terrorism. So India farm policy countering terrorism was strongly acknowledged during the meeting. The country unequivocally condemn all terrorist attack and emphatically advocate adoption of zero tolerance policy towards terrorism. So everyone supported and will have no tolerance towards any terrorism. So India assume the chairman of the BRICS Parliamentary Forum and will host 12th meeting in next year. So if there is a question, India has assumed the chairmanship of BRICS Parliamentary Forum. So India assumed chairmanship of BRICS parliamentary forum. Okay. So next is, this is a very good article. The sponsor of terrorist must be brought to justice, Central Asian country. So our relationship with Central Asian countries is very good. So you need to know about a lot of things about them. So Foreign Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, okay, Central Asian countries unequivocally condemn the terrorist attack in the Pahalgam and convey their firm commitment to fight the terrorists. They all are together that at any cost we need to fight against the terrorism. The common position against the terrorism was arrived during the Indian Central Asian dialogue that was chaired by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. He acknowledged the solidarity with the Central Asian country had extended to India during Pahalgam attack. So all the Central Asian countries, they supported during the Pahalgam attack. If you look into the relationship among the Central Asian country, we had a very good, we have a very good relationship among them. Okay, so deep cultural relations and deep sense of brotherhood. They and people to people connect. So he also called upon regions to be a greater financial connectivity with India. So we need to have more connectivity not in terms of road, airways or railways, also in terms of financial connectivity. So terrorist proxies for cross-border terrorism and terror financing, armed drug trafficking and dismantling of radical ideology and abuse of cyberspace to be spread disinformation, incite violation goes against the basic principle of humanity. So we are very clear that those who are supporting terrorism, those who are exporting weapons, drug and all these are crime against the humanity, and they should be punished and they should be held accountable. And our foreign minister push for connectivity. The perpetrator, organizer and financier of sponsor terrorist must be held responsible. So recently the foreign minister of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, the optimum uses of international north-south transport corridor. This is already asked in your prelims. So to enhance connectivity between India and Central Asian country, India supported the membership of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan in INSTC. So dear student, you need to know about the country of the Central Asian country and their capital. North south, the capital from north south, capital from east to west, and there is a how many country that is bordering Caspian seas. You need to know. And please write in the comment box which country is called doubly landlocked country. Doubly landlocked country. So minister underline the importance of greater financial connectivity between Indian and Central Asian country. So for example, we can promote UPI, including through the digital payment system and enhancing interbank relationship, trade in international currencies, trade in not international, trade in national currencies to encourage greater trade investment. Dekho, we can ensure the trade in the Indian rupees with the Central Asian country, because that will reduce our transaction cost and reduce reliance on the or threat from the USA sanction also. So dear student, you can join our Telegram. Here I am posting everything like daily MCQ, daily current affairs, so a lot of things. So to join that, simply scan this QR code, you'll join. And we are also conducting podcast on the Saturday and Sunday. You can ask me all your doubt there, and I'm going to solve that. So like related to your preparation. So next is Prime Minister Modi accept the Canadian Prime Minister invitations to G7. So the PM visit to the Canada come after decades of marred by the tension of the Khalistani issue. So there is a issue मैं आप just बता देता हूँ. So there is a our relationship with Canada is not that good, because there is a accusation each side that Canada support the Khalistan issue, and Khalistan, they are terrorists, they involve in a lot of terrorist activity in the past. ठीक है. But after this new government coming into power, so the first time they invited the prime minister for last, I think it is decade. Okay, decade, and we hope that our relation is going to improve. Okay, so yes, so just we'll just read it out. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend represent India at the G7 summit in Canada next week after he invited by the Canadian Prime Minister. So visit to the Canada, Modi first since 2015, mark a reset in the tries after year of tension over the Khalistan separatist targeting Indian diplomats and killing of the Canadian and Khalistan leader Hardeep Singh Najjar for previous Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau blame Indian government agent. Okay? So the invitation of Indian as a guest invitee of the G7 summit to held, Kansas, Canada, we believe that that is going to restore our relationship between the both the country. Okay? So next both are as a vibrant democracy bound by people to people contact, because a lot of people from the Punjab, they are staying in the Canada. So we'll work together to renew vigor and guided by mutual respect and share interest. Look forward to meeting this summit. This is what said by the our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Mr. Modi attended the G7 summit, where he has has been every year as a special invitee since 2009. So our Prime Minister is attending each and every summit since 2019. So this is providing good opportunity to meet with leader with France, USA, UK, Italy, Japan, German. Okay, after Operation Sindoor. So already it's providing a good forum for interaction, and this is the first meeting that is India is going to have interaction with all these countries. So next is prioritizing Indian language as a medium of teaching. This is what said by our Ministry of Education. Okay, we already know that the our national education policy talk about promoting education in our Indian language. So highlighted the emphasis multilingualism in national education policy 2020. So NEP, national education policy 2020, talk about promoting in multilingual. AI based so we can use AI based translations to convert all this language into regional language. For example, AI based translations tools such as Anubhadini and Udan share information regarding that can be used to convert all this English language into regional language, so that helpful in developing our courses in the regional language. Okay, so center launch for monitoring of work property. So what is the name of that portal? The name of the portal is Ummid. So Union Ministry of Minority Affairs Kiran Rijiju on Friday launched unified work management, empowerment, efficiency and development portal, a centralized digital platform for real time updating and verification and monitoring of the work property. Okay? So portal will bring about a paradigm shift in the administration of the work assets by introducing greater transparency and accountability and public participation. The Umid portal will also add a new chapter in the history of work property management and administration in the India, because there are a lot of you can say opaqueness happening in the property, and that led to the exploitation of marginalized section of the people. So this is developed by the ministry. Umid will feature as a digital inventory, geotagging of the all work property. Other key features include online grievance redressal system for better responsive and integration of GIS mapping and e-governance tool. So this is also provide public access. Okay. Okay, dear student. Here one important point you need to know about Ummid. So they can ask about recently the Ummid portal is launched by the government. What are the objective of this Ummid portal? Okay. So Saha launch the Minister of Home Affairs, Amit Shah, launched BBA initiative for free governance from foreign language influence. So, what is the meaning of BBA? Bharatiya Bhasha Anubhag, ठीक है, or Indian language section. So, this is in our union budget for 2024 and 25 aside 56 crore to establish BBA for development of platform to facilitate translation of various language into Hindi and vice versa. So recently we are seeing that there are a lot of AI is developing, so that can be used to convert one language to another language. Okay. And dear student, those who are attempting mains in 2026, so they can join our mains answer writing program. So here it is completely flexible. You can get either 2 questions per day, or you can write 10 question in a week, or full length test in the 14 days, or you can write either question from our sources, or you can write question from any sources. So it is completely flexible, yet the price is very low, so that you can improve your performance without spending too much of money. Okay. So next is the Elon Musk Starlink get license to start service, internet service. So Elon Musk Starlink has received the license for providing satellite internet service in India. A key milestone will take closer towards launching commercial operation in country. So this is the third common company after Utelsat and Geo satellite communication get license from the Department of Communications, okay, to provide satellite internet service in the country. Fourth applicant is the Amazon Kuiper, is still waiting in the response. So so how the satellite internet satellite, here it is, let's say this is the Earth, and will launch multiple satellite on this outer space. So the satellite, what they will do, they will provide beaming the signal and return the signal. Here let's say if there is a population, they can have access to this internet. And most of the satellite based internet, the satellite is located on the low earth orbit, okay, LEO, to reduce the latency, because the more is the distance, there is a large time gap for traveling of this signal. To reduce this latency, generally the satellite are launched in the low earth orbit. Okay. So next, the Maoist operative carrying 45 lakh bounty kill in the Bijapur operation police. So this is a good thing that last recently we are seeing that there is a successful operation and elimination of key terrorist different part, not terrorist, left wing extremism on the different part of the country. So it's a good thing and it is a right directions to fulfill the objective of making India free of the left wing extremism. Okay, so next is there is a interview with government, Odisha chief minister. So here we can see something. I think those who are from the Odisha, you need to study it very well because they can ask a question directly from here in your prelims or those who are preparing for interview. You need to know that. For other student, you can know some model initiative if you want. Okay, otherwise it is not much important. So recently, then a sunken ship and a sea of warriors. So recently, a container ship sank on the coast of Kerala while all the 24 crew members were rescued. Some of the ship container were hazardous cargo because it is contain calcium carbide, which is which creates severe, highly inflammable substance also, which is also create exothermic reaction also. Have washed up the shore, so either go down. So most lots of the cargo they either sunken or their cargo moved to the shore. While the world worry about the environmental pollution, particular incident, so find that the fish folk more concerned about the indiscriminate mining and dumping of the untreated pollutant. So danger locks on the form of many tons of colorless plastic and nodules that spill over the many container in the Kerala southern district. Okay? So just read it out. Already I think I'm giving continuous paper. I think you all have knowledge about that. No need to spend too much of time. Okay, not much important information available. So same page, the RBI and government are now aligned on the borrowing, boosting the growth. So Reserve Bank of India Monetary Policy Committee decision. So recently to reduce the repo rate by 0.5% and CRR cash reserve ratio by 1% led to the to boost the growth. So why this is happen? Because the primary objective of RBI is to limit or control the inflation, but inflation is under control and we need to boost our growth. So that is the reason it will be reducing the reducing the both the things, so that will be there is a growth of the Indian economy. So next is insular paranoid. The Donald Trump is turning USA into self-doubting republic. So recently, Donald Trump imposed restriction on the travel of the citizen from the few 12 countries that include, against Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Ecuador, Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. Okay, so this is what actually na against the principle of liberal American. So why these people are coming to America? Because they have a dream and there is a problem in the home country. So this is, he also removed the legal status of thousands of foreign students and instructed US diplomatic missions to pause scheduling of new visa interview as his administration prepared to vet the social media handles of the student and scholars. So they are not national security threat but victim of the search of the rescue. So they all are coming to USA because they are having US dream, just like you people are having. You think that by going to USA you'll enjoy your life. By shutting the American door to them, immigrant in general, and Trump making the USA safer. Rather, he is returning country historically welcome the immigrant and benefiting from it. Dekho, why USA is growing so fast? Because the talented people they migrant, they contribute research and development of their economy, and the poor people they coming because they supply the cheap labor. So because of that, US economy is growing rapidly. But if this kind of action is going on, so that is going to impact the US economy also. Na? So maintaining India's progress in the food safety standards. Dekho, now our non-communicable disease rate are very rising rapidly and the processed food market is also gaining traction. So in that backdrop, we need to increase the food safety norm so that we can protect our people. So today is the World Food Safety Day, and we celebrate seventh June. So food safety science action. So you need to know about our food safety standard authority is the authority to regulate the food standards, and it is established under the Food Safety Standard Act. So I'm just putting it in box so that so whatever I'm writing in box, it is important for your mains. So you need to remember that. Uh, so so it is talking about how we are going to bring about regulatory advances in our food industry. It is talking about we need to improve our regulatory standards, we need to ensure awareness, all these things. So just read it out, you'll understand. Then next is about water management in India and need a new course. So here it is talking about the melting of the glacier, melting of the glacier in the mountain that from the water, and ocean water is also, there is a connection between these two. So if there is any pollution in the melting of the glacier, then there is a pollution in the ocean. So we need to see them together rather than seeing them isolation. So just read all these things. It is very easy and no good thing to know, because they can whenever you know about all these things, you can give a very good answer in your mains. Okay, this article is important for your mains, so please read it out, you'll understand it. Yes, dear student. Then I think yes, completion of the today newspaper. Dear student, if you think if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and share this uh, video with your friends. And in case you have any suggestion, any feedback, you are always welcome. Please give us the suggestion. Okay, चलिए, bye bye. Take care. Again, we'll meet tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye.